genre.
Hey guys, this is Scott. I'm just dropping a note here at the beginning of the episode to let you know that Nick was having some technical difficulties that didn't show up while we were on the call, and then the actual recording of it, well, you'll hear. It's kind of warbly. I don't really know how to describe what's going on, but if you want to hear the episode, you'll sort of just have to bear with us and bear with the weird sound that's going on with his mic. We don't know what happened, and so it couldn't really be helped, and we thought it would be better to release it as is rather than try and redo it. So here it is, and apologies in advance.
Way Round, the weekly podcast where we review, discuss, and recap every episode of Doctor Who, one doctor at a time. I'm Nick Jimenez.
I'm Cassandra Fredrickson.
And I'm Scott Corelli.
And today on the show, we'll be discussing Delta and the Bannermen, the Seventh Doctor's third story in the show's 24th season, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes,
and
you're right.
So when we last left the Seventh Doctor, it was the greatest episode of the show I've ever seen, Paradise Towers. And you know what? I genuinely didn't think I could ever love anything as much as I love Paradise Towers, and I was wrong.
Yeah, this is my favorite Seventh Doctor story. I love Delta and the Bannermen so much. This was written by Malcolm Cole, directed by Chris Clow. Chris Clow, who directed the final two stories of Trial of a Time Lord before this. And Malcolm Cole had never written for the show before, but he had been part of a BBC script unit workshop that Cartmel, Andrew Cartmel, the new script editor at this point, they had come up in the workshop together. And so when Cartmel became script editor, he went to all of those young writers that were in that workshop, asking if any of them would be interested in writing for Doctor Who. And this was actually the first story that he commissioned. Second story that he had commissioned. Paradise Towers being the first, this being the second. And Andrew Cartmel went to Malcolm Cole and basically told him to come up with a bunch of ideas, and he did. He came up with a ton of them, and they presented them to Nathan Turner, and Nathan Turner was like, all of these sound like stories we've already done before. Can you do something set in South Wales? Because we've never done anything set in Wales before. Which is incredibly ironic. Incredibly ironic today.
Real monkey ball situation, I guess.
Yeah. And so Malcolm Cole, who often vacationed in South Wales growing up, and his brother lives in Wales, agreed to come up with a story that was set in Wales. And so he came up with the story that we have. And at first, he had called the story Flight of the Chimeron. That's how he pitched the story. And that's what the outlines came in on and everything. And then when he wrote the first episode, it suddenly came in under the title Delta and the Bannermen, which was a play on like early like 50s rock bands like Martha and the Vandellas and Tommy James and the Shondells. But it was mostly So it was a joke on that, but it was also, which was, relevant to the story, but it's also a very direct contemporary play on Echo and the Bunnymen.
Oh.
So it's instead of Echo, it's Delta, and instead of the Bunnymen, it's the Bannermen.
That's why I like it so much.
Yeah. So that's what he decided that he wanted to do something that sounded like a 50s, 60s rock band, but also loved Echo and the Bunnymen and wanted to do a little ode to that. And so that's how we got Delta and the Bannermen as the title.
That's why I think it'll make such a great band name.
Yeah, absolutely. And then the fact that it's 3 episodes is because the season was meant to be 14 episodes, season 24, and with that in mind, they had already before Cartmel came on board. John Nathan Turner had already commissioned the first 2 stories, both of which were 4 parts. And so instead of doing 3 2-part stories or one 4-part story and a 2-part story, the history of Doctor Who 2-part stories hasn't been very good at this point. And so they decided to do 2 3-part stories instead. And that's one being completely on location and the other one shot entirely in the studio. This is the one all on location. And next time that we talk about the 7th Doctor, that is the all in the studio episode, Dragonfire. So that was going on. And then on the other side of that, something else that was going on was that our companion, played by Bonnie Langford,
yes,
had decided that she wasn't super into Mel's depth as a character. She didn't think that she was getting to do anything with the character. She was just sort of like running around being cheery and screaming. And they were like, yeah, have you seen Doctor Who before? And she's like, she just was very dissatisfied with it and had decided to leave. So Nathan Turner and Cartmel got together and they were like, okay, so here's what we're going to do. We really like this character Ray in this story. We think she could be a companion. There's also a character named Ace in Dragonfire that we also think could be a future companion. So what we'll do is we're going to cast the hell out of both of them. And then we're going to shoot both of these stories so that it doesn't matter which one is the last story. And whichever companion that we like the most, he'll actually keep and become a full-time companion.
And
Ace was chosen.
God.
So Ace, yeah, but you're only sad now because you don't know Ace.
I know.
Once you meet Ace,
better blow the goddamn doors off.
Literally, she does.
Yeah,
literally.
Okay.
Literally, she does.
Okay, because I love Ray.
Yeah, well, she's good, but she's no Ace.
Okay, that makes me excited because I really, really loved Ray. I didn't even know she was supposed to be a companion. When you said that Ray was set up to be a companion, I'm like, oh, that's why I loved her so much, is because they were like, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And that's why she didn't get the guy in the end, and that's why she spent so much time with the Doctor by herself.
Yeah, no, I love.
Because it was basically an audition. But here's what happened too, and this is
like if Sandy and Rizzo combined.
Yeah, well, here's the problem with Ray as a possible companion.
And we're
so
pronouncing wrong. It's Ray.
They did this full casting.
Yes.
And they cast Lynn Gardner as Ray, and she started learning how to ride a moped because it was part of the contract, is that she needed to learn how to drive a moped because she's going to have to do it a lot in the story. She injured herself and couldn't shoot. So they had to go with their second choice, which was Sarah Griffiths, who is playing Rey in this story. So right off the bat, Rey sort of had, like, everyone pretty much assumed Rey wasn't going to get it, which is why they didn't end up shooting the possible, the written, in the script, there was a write-out in this story for Mel, and they didn't end up shooting it because they knew by the time they were shooting the third episode that this wasn't going to be Rey was not going to be the companion.
Oh, that's so sad for that actress.
Yeah. So instead they gave her a motorcycle. And the actress who hurt herself actually plays a role in a minor role in Dragonfire. So she's in Dragonfire.
I don't want to get too ahead of myself, and I don't want to seem ungrateful for everything that has been given to me already by this era of the show. But in the episode Dragonfire, are there dragons?
Yes.
Okay.
Soon, Nick. Right. Also, Dragonfire has dragons, and also the greatest cliffhanger in the history of Doctor.
Oh my god, it totally does. I forgot.
I'm so excited.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah. So they made the decision not to go with Rey as the new companion, and everything seemed to work out there. That was, I think that's pretty much all there is. The only other thing that I thought was worth mentioning was that Belinda Main, who plays Delta, and this is going to really mean next to nothing for you, Nick, but Cassandra's going to find this interesting. Belinda Main was originally cast as Romana in 1978.
What?
Yeah.
Really?
Which when you look at her and you think about her, you can totally see it.
Romana 1, right?
Yeah, Romana 1.
Whoa.
That rhymes with Moana.
So yeah, she was originally cast as Romana 1 and then recast near the start of production with who we got. But yeah, you can totally see like a lot of Romana in Belinda Main's performance as Delta. It's good. And I think that's it.
Do we have any New Who news, Scott?
No, there hasn't really been anything because it's just preparing for the Christmas special.
Can I say something that I don't think I vocalized this on the show yet? And you know what? Okay, I will happily eat an entire crow on Christmas Day.
An entire crow,
a whole crow, if this ends up being the case. But I have an extremely bad feeling about the return of Dr. Mysterio.
So do I.
Okay.
I think it looks really bad.
I think it looks awful.
Yeah.
Ever since I saw the poster and just the first footage, like that 30 seconds of Justin Chatwin in a 1997 superhero outfit, busting through that window.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this looks really bad.
Yeah, it does.
Cass, have you seen any footage yet? I mean,
I don't think I have. I've seen the promo picture of him in the suit, but
yeah, I have a very bad feeling about it. And maybe I'll be proven wrong because, I remember being super hyped about Wedding of River Song. I mean, not Wedding. What was it? The Husbands of River Song.
Husbands of River Song.
And Last Christmas.
Uh-huh.
So, maybe it'll be the
opposite of that?
Yeah. I'm not optimistic, but I want to be.
I don't know what a superhero has to do with Christmas.
That's my thing, is I love that they're always about Christmas, and I don't want that to stop.
But they're not, though. These new ones, other than was it Last Christmas that had Nick Frost in it?
Yeah.
As Santa. So other than Last Christmas was about Christmas, but last year's Husbands of River Song, Christmas was barely a part of it.
Yeah.
And that's why I don't like that story. And I have the same feeling I had for that I do for this.
Yeah, but everyone watches those like cheesy romantic comedy movies on Christmas now.
It felt Christmassy. It felt Christmassy, kind of like in the way Die Hard feels Christmassy.
I don't like that you compared Die Hard to Husbands of River Song.
Yeah.
Well, no, that's like sacrilege. But like The Holiday. Like I love The Holiday with Kate Winslet and Cameron Diaz. And,
Oh yeah, The Holiday's great.
yeah, and that's like barely a Christmas movie. It's like a Christmas movie like in the middle. It's like a holiday. It just feels it just feels Christmassy.
Uh-huh.
Like Gremlins isn't really about Christmas, but it is, you know.
Right. Sure. I don't know. But yeah, I'm with you. I don't have a good feeling. I really want to be proven wrong, but I don't know. I just feel like superheroes do not belong in Doctor Who, except for under very specific circumstances that Cass knows.
Sure, yeah.
I can't wait. Oh my god.
And I'm also like super okay. So here's my problem with, and I'll say this now, so that we don't have to. Okay, so superheroes, right, in the world of Doctor Who. Well, superpowers now exist in Doctor Who, which is like insane and weird and huge and unnecessary.
Mm-hmm.
Or two, it's going to be another damn dream episode, like Last Christmas was, where it's like an alternate reality, or like none of it is actually happening, or something, or like Justin Chatwin isn't really a superhero, he just thinks he is, or something. You know what I mean? Like they're going to have to pass it, and I'm just not looking forward to that. I'm not looking forward to
either of those choices don't sound particularly great.
Yeah.
Is what's her name in the Christmas? Bill? Is Bill going to be in the Christmas special?
No. The companion is.
It's just the head guy.
Yeah, Scott's favorite actor.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the head guy, and then there's a lady who is like a one-off companion.
Yeah, like homegirl from the Mummy Train episode thing.
Yeah.
Remember, like the princess, the Duchess that was like a thief.
I don't know. I've got a bad feeling about it. But we'll see.
I haven't really liked a Christmas special since a Christmas Carol one.
We talked about this. I really like Doctor the Witch in the Wardrobe, or the Doctor in the Wardrobe.
I think that one is. I like.
Okay, wait.
70% of that one, I think.
Okay, wait. Okay, so it's been Christmas Carol.
Mm-hmm. Dr. Widow Witch in the Wardrobe.
Dr. Widow the Witch in the Wardrobe, and the horse and his boy. What came after that one?
The Snowman.
The Snowman, which I really didn't like. Well, I didn't like it. I just wasn't crazy about it.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of I think I still it's the same thing where it's like with Dr. Widow I liked like it was like a 70-30 where I really didn't like 30 of it and then I really liked 70 of it, and I think that's the same thing with Snowman. It's just like
I just didn't like that it was
different parts.
I didn't like the Dark Knight Rises part of it.
I didn't mind that, but I didn't mind it in the context of the episode. In the context of like the larger narrative, I had more of a issue with it.
Time with the Doctor.
Right, and the Time of the Doctor, which I love.
Oh, I don't like
but
that
I know
one
that
either.
I'm not.
I'm in the middle.
I know I'm not. I'm in the minority there.
And then it was Last Christmas, which was not very good, but fun.
Last Christmas. Well, the problem with Last Christmas is that when you promise me Nick Frost as Santa Claus, I expect to be getting Nick Frost as Santa Claus, and instead I got Alien or The Thing or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's not what that's not what you promised me.
It had that one cute Scottish girl like dancing. Remember her?
Yeah.
She was cool. And then she was in Game of Thrones.
She sure was.
And then it was the Husbands of River Song, which I
hate.
Which I can barely remember.
I hated that story. Except for like the last 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Oh, so I don't know. We'll find out soon. Soon.
So yeah,
Soon.
we will see.
All right. Well, let's get into Delta and the Bannermen, Cass. Take it away.
All right. So we open on this like desert planet, which is totally not a quarry.
I was going to say, our old friend Planet Rock Quarry.
The room of requirement of Doctor Who.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's these guys with banners
They
on
look
them.
like Green Army men.
Oh, yeah. No, those are the Chimerons? I think it's Chimeron.
Right, the Chimeron or Chimeron?
I think it's Chimeron because they're just like Shimmer Queen, and I'm just like,
oh, right.
Yeah.
Okay, Chimeron. Do you know that their little mask thing that the males, the way that they look, they're like repurposed. What is that story that they're repurposed from? I gotta find it in my notes.
Oh, is it? It's not Ark in Space, is it?
No, it's Frontier in Space. They're Draconians.
I do not even remember.
Yeah.
That's Pertwee, right?
Yeah.
What? Okay.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah, from 73.
That's gross.
Yeah. They're like super old.
Hey, we found these in the warehouse. Let's put them on
we found these
face.
15-year-old masks in the warehouse.
That's gross.
Put these on your face. The Draconians are the dudes that are kind of like cone heads, and they have like bumps on the sides of their faces.
I will be honest, I pretty much slept through that one, so.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they're very regal looking.
It's like 6 parts, right? That one? Yeah.
I mean, like most Pertwee, it's like 6 parts.
But it's like bad 6-part Pertwee. Anyway, so you have the Chimerons, which look like Green Army men from Toy Story, only like life size. And then you have these guys dressed in like red and black, and they have banners, and they are the Bannermen. Convenient. So they are shooting.
Hey, we're the Bannermen.
Yeah. So the Bannermen are shooting the Green Army dudes, and their leader, Gavrock, he's like, take no prisoners, so they just shoot them all down. And the Green Army men die except for one Green Army man and this woman who is dressed in like a Stay Puft Marshmallow outfit. Like this white, it's supposed to be space agey, but it looks like a white down coat, but for her entire body. And
sounds sexy.
Yeah. So they run, and they're like, we're gonna steal this spaceship, and it's a Bannerman ship. So they run, and they avoid being shot, only to run into Gavrock, who's waiting for them, and he shoots the last army man, and he's about to shoot the Stay Puft Marshmallow Queen when the army man is still alive, and he shoots like Gavrock in the back, and Gavrock falls out of the spaceship, and Delta makes a break for it, and she has this weird suitcase thing. And the TARDIS,
it's like a clear suitcase with like a wad of bubble wrap inside of it.
Yeah, it's got like that Easter basket hay in it.
Yeah. Right. It's just like, just throw some weird clear stuff in there.
But you don't really tell what's in her suitcase. So she takes off and goes into space. And meanwhile, the TARDIS lands in front of a shipping container. I don't know where they're supposed to be. It's some like shady spaceport, which is really cool because, I don't know, you don't really see shady. It's very like Star Wars so far. The story is.
The Doctor says that line. He tells he tells Mel to run back to the TARDIS at the first sign of trouble, and I'm like, since when are you warning your companions to do that?
Times the charm.
This is brand new.
So they're exploring this like really shady abandoned spaceport, and then all of a sudden there's this voice, and he's just like, oh, you win a grand prize. They're the 10 billionth person to land at this spaceport. And the Doctor's like, oh, that's weird. Why would 10 billion people be here? So what they win is they win.
He kind of throws some shade.
Yeah. He's like,
I mean, that's what he's doing.
he's like,
really?
oh, congratulations. Yeah.
Yeah. 10 billion people here?
So
This dump?
their prize is the greatest prize in the whole entire world because they get to
Maybe
go
the universe.
to Disneyland in 1959.
They're a nostalgia trip company.
The rock and roll years, Cass.
I love this story so much.
I feel like this guy, the guy that because you haven't described him yet, but he's like wearing kind of like a
glittery purple outfit.
Yeah, but it's like it is, but it's also sort of like a circus leader kind of.
Yeah, like a ringmaster.
Calling this outfit purple is kind of like calling the Joker crazy.
Yeah. And then the actor they got playing him, he looks like he could have been cast as Peter Pettigrew. Like he just he looks like a rat that's turned back into a human.
Yeah. He's a deeply you feel bad because I'm sure he's like a decent normal person.
Yeah, but he's very rodent looking.
You know those people that just look untrustworthy?
Yeah.
You're like, I'm not gonna let you like watch my apartment.
No. Yeah, that's fair.
So yeah, so he's like, and poor. This was the episode where I forgot her name. What's her name?
Mel.
I almost called her Langford, but that's her real last name. Bonnie Langford.
That would be amazing if her name was Langford. That's a great name for a companion.
Especially her.
Yeah. Come along, Langford.
I'm 7.5 years old.
Yeah.
I love Mel. I think she's my favorite classic companion so far. She's just so nice. And she's never won anything before. And now she gets to go to Disneyland. And she's
Well, I agree that she's nice. She's probably the kindest, she's the companion I think I would most trust my children with, you know?
Oh, I would make my children sit down and watch Mel every afternoon at 3.
Right.
Be like, watch Mel learn how to read. Or like watch Mel figure out right from wrong.
Right. It's like you put on clown makeup and she's right out of Big Comfy Couch.
Yeah.
I mean,
God.
Yeah. And I like Mel fine, but like as a companion, she doesn't really do much. She doesn't add much to the proceedings.
Remind me. Okay, so we've had
we have Barbara, Ian, and Susan.
Okay, I like Barbara.
Wait,
I like Susan.
The granddaughter.
Yeah, the granddaughter's pretty cool.
Right.
Also,
we have right now we have Jamie, Steven, and what's her name, Cass?
What? It's Jamie, Ben, and Polly.
Oh, Ben and Polly, right. Not Steven. Steven is
Hartnell.
Oh, okay. He's right before Ben, right?
He's the Ian replacement.
Okay.
Right.
None
okay.
of those three really stick out in my mind right now.
Okay. Jamie's the Scottish Highlander.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Jamie's pretty cool.
Yeah. And then third Doctor, we've got
Liz.
Right, Liz, which
I don't like Liz.
You know. Liz was really great in the last story that we watched, but that's like the only one that she's really great in.
What? No.
Yeah. There's only one more.
Well, yeah, Inferno.
Right, but she's not playing Liz.
Yes, she is.
Not really.
Is it a Mad Eye Moody situation?
It's sort of. But yeah, I'm not saying anything wrong with the actress at all. The actress is great.
Okay,
it's just that the only time Liz as a character is like a really good Doctor Who companion is in the story we just watched.
That's true. Okay.
And then fourth Doctor, we've got Sarah Jane, which
amazing.
Come on,
yeah, I mean,
Sarah Jane.
It's like who's your favorite person on SNL this week besides Kate McKinnon? Because come on.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, totally. And it's Sarah Jane and Harry.
Harry, yeah.
And then
Harry's pretty cool.
Yeah. And then fifth Doctor, forgot about him. Fifth Doctor has a whole crew.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got a squad. Adric, Tegan, and Nissa.
Oh, I love those nerds. Yeah, they're cool.
Yeah. See, you're just like forgetting them.
Yeah.
You're like, okay, maybe she's not my favorite. I just really like this story.
You know what it is? Who's the Sixth Doctor's companion that we're on right now?
Perry?
Perry.
I just feel so bad for Perry being stuck with the Sixth Doctor that I'm happy that Mel seems to be so like safe and taken care of and appreciated.
Yeah. God, I can't wait to get out of the TV adventures with the Sixth Doctor.
Oh, really?
That's when he excels.
He gets so good, yeah.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure.
Yeah.
Because I would imagine Mel with the Sixth Doctor. That just makes me really sad.
You will get to see that.
For like 2 stories.
It features it's Mel constantly telling the Sixth Doctor that he should go on a diet and is trying to be his personal trainer all the time.
Does the Sixth Doctor get fat?
Yeah.
Oh.
Because they take a season off and he gains a bunch of weight.
Why does he gain a bunch of weight?
I don't know. He just did. I don't think. Well, they thought the show was canceled, so he didn't think it was going to come back.
So he just pulls like a friggin' Mycroft, and he's like, "I shall expand."
I guess. I don't know.
I'm gonna Google Sixth Doctor fat.
No, don't do that. My God,
that's so mean.
I'm not saying any.
Sixth Doctor, Trial of a Time Lord. He has gained like 50 pounds between.
I don't think it's 50. I think it's like 20 or 30.
It's quite a bit. He is much chubbier. I don't know. Anyway,
I'm sorry for interrupting, Kaz.
Anyway, point is that's what Mel constantly does with.
Why does he have a beard?
I don't think he ever has one in the actual show.
Okay, I don't know what I just. Found.
He did grow a beard during the hiatus though, when they thought they were canceled.
So he just gained 50 pounds and grew a beard.
Yeah, and then sang in the greatest song ever.
Oh my God!
That you will hear when the time is right.
Okay, I'm looking forward to it.
No,
yeah.
I'm not.
Oh yeah. Oh dear God, yes.
Why did you bring that back into my sphere of consciousness? I hate you so much. It's stuck in my head. Anyway.
If it's any consolation, it's stuck in mine too.
I hate you.
I hate myself. Continue.
So, they're going to Disneyland.
They're going to Disneyland.
Mel's never won anything in her life, which is really sad.
So they're going to go to Disneyland, and not only are they going to Disneyland in the past, they are going on a spaceship that looks like a bus, and it's the greatest thing.
It kind of looks like the opening to Mystery Science Theater 3000.
It does a little bit.
Yeah.
Also, there's that bit where the Doctor is like, who's going on this trip with us? And they say some alien species, I can't remember. And
oh, yeah.
They're just like, he's like, how is that going to be a thing? Because they're like big slug, crazy, goofy monsters. Mm-hmm. Like, you're going to just walk around Disneyland? And he's like, no, we have a transformation arc. Cut to a bunch of people standing around an arc clapping as a bug monster does a limbo through a transformation arc and comes out the other side as a human being.
And that's what we call controlling the budget.
Oh my God.
Oh, it's incredible.
It's so good. It's like, I don't know. It's what I imagine like the flying purple people eater is minus the wings. And it just has like a tentacle for a face. And it's amazing.
And it's just like dancing in and out of the transformation
They're all
arc.
just happy for it. Go.
Do it. Well, because presumably they're all that species and they've all already went through the transformation arch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the last guy is their pilot.
Right.
The tour guide.
And they are just having so much fun. They're so excited to be on vacation.
Well, yeah, they're about to go to Disneyland.
Yeah,
In
Disneyland.
1959, the rock and roll years.
Right.
So Mel is super hype, and she's like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna get on this bus." And the doctor's like, I'm gonna fly in the TARDIS, and I'll follow you." And Mel's like, "Whatever, spoil sport." So at that moment, right before the bus is about to take off, like Delta is like flying through space, and she receives like a threatening voicemail from Gavrok, and she shoots the screen because she's like, "Whatever," and so she lands.
Gavrok being the leader of the Bannermen.
Yeah.
He sounds like a Beastie Boy. So I think you're saying Adrock.
Adrock. I keep wanting to say Gavroche, like the little boy from Limits. But he's like, "I'm gonna follow you, girl, because I want to kill you." And she's like, "Ew, bye." And so she shoots the screen. And
ew, bye.
Yeah, boy, bye. So she lands at the spaceport, and she runs onto the bus just as it's about to take off. And the doctor notices her, and he's like, "That's weird." And then so he takes off in the TARDIS. Meanwhile, we have
the greatest characters to ever be in a Doctor Who story.
I talk about a spinoff.
Two older gentlemen. One is dressed very dapper-like, and one is wearing like a baseball cap and a Yankees jacket in Wales.
Yeah, Yankees hat, Yankees jacket. He reminds me of, if you've watched Bob's Burgers.
Oh yeah, Teddy.
Yeah, he reminds me of Teddy.
Bobby.
Yeah. Because and they're playing Americans because, the BBC are just like, yeah, just throw the Yankees ball cap on his head, and he's American, because that's all Americans do.
I know, I love their dialogue later. They talk about like patriotic duty and like all this other stuff. I'm like, oh Jesus.
Oh yeah. Okay, when one of the Bannermen blows up their spy equipment, he goes, "Hey, that belonged to Uncle Sam."
Yeah.
Take me to your Uncle Sam.
My God.
So
I ship these two.
These two are in Wales, and they are attempting to track a satellite. And I think they're supposed to be CIA operatives. I don't know why they're going around the Welsh countryside.
They're very bumbling for CIA operatives.
Talking into, non, like encrypted lines, just picking up a phone in a police box.
Also, can we talk about the use of a police box in a show where a police box is an iconic mode of transportation?
I really like the sight gag, though, with the TARDIS taking off and then these two picking up the phone in the police box on Earth. It's so funny.
Because you're like, what?
Yeah. Because we know the TARDIS has a phone.
Right.
So they're supposed to be tracking a satellite that was just launched over in Florida from Wales. And so that's what they're supposed to be doing. I don't know how they got this job. I don't know if they're qualified. That's what they're doing.
I would venture a guess to say that they're probably not qualified. It seems like they've been grandfathered into the CIA somehow and have been given a wild goose to chase.
Like they're kind of like the Team Rocket of the CIA.
Yeah.
Oh.
Or the Zim.
See, yeah. I love that theory, but I also love what I'm calling the American Ultra theory, which is that these two are actually like so dangerous and so have such a high kill count, and that they've been like, their minds have been erased. And they just think that they're these two bumbling cartoon characters. But if anyone ever like looks them in the eye and says like Delta Tango Foxtrot, they'll like turn back on.
Oh my God. Horrifying.
What is it, like Agent K and like Men in Black? Like,
yeah, totally. Yeah, they've been neuralized.
Oh,
man. I still couldn't tell you what their mission was.
They're supposed to track a satellite. I don't know why they're tracking the satellite.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
But said satellite in space, the bus runs into the satellite, and the bus starts hurtling towards space, and everyone's screaming. And the Doctor uses the TARDIS to kind of I don't know, like magnetize the bus. I don't know what he does, but he saves the bus in this like ray of TARDIS energy. And
I really like that moment because I honestly think that this was the story that Russell T Davies saw and was like, I want to write.
Yeah.
I want to make Doctor Who one day. Because there are so many elements in it that feel very Russell T Davies, but one of them is that in this moment, the Doctor has to simultaneously press two switches, setting up, like, establishing the fact that, like, the TARDIS is meant to be piloted by, like, 8 people, not by one guy.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And so, like, he has to, like, stretch out with with his foot and then with the umbrella and, like, hit, like, 2 or 3 switches at the same time to do this maneuver. And it's cool because you don't see a lot of that kind of thing in Classic Who.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And so I really like that move. I don't know.
It's really impressive, this first episode especially too, because there's so many different elements. The pace feels so fast, and I think it's the most modern day Classic Who story in regards to pacing.
Yes.
So it's I don't know, this whole thing just reminds me of Russell T, down to the like shimmying purple alien. So the bus crashes into the satellite. The Doctor saves the day, and he gently places the bus on Earth, and our American friends are told that the satellite has gone haywire and it's gonna crash land on Earth and they need to find it. And that's very convenient because it's in Wales attached to this bus. So the people on the bus, the aliens on the bus go round and round. They learn that they're in Wales and they're not at Disneyland, and there's this like RV camp. I don't know what it is. It's like a it's a motel. Yeah, but it's like summer camp almost. Like it's like a RV resort minus the RVs.
Yeah, I mean it's a whole thing. I think you check it out at like the whole building, like it's like a group motel kind of deal, and then they have like group meals and everything.
Yeah.
But it's a vacation spot because like Wales is a vacation spot for like England, Scotland, and Ireland.
Huh.
It's like their Florida.
So
yeah, because they have like beaches. They have like beaches and stuff. So
that's true.
Yeah.
All right.
So that's what this is, I think.
Okay. So they land at this swanky camp motel, and they're
I don't think it's swanky. I think it's garbage.
It's
but
like
it's
supposed to be like charming, like 50s charming.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But yeah, it looks like
kind of reminds me of the resort
complex.
from The Lobster. Anyway.
So they're greeted by the guy who runs the camp, whose name is Burton, and he gives them the rundown, and they were like, okay, well, we'll stay here until the bus is fixed. And Mel and Delta end up roommates for the night, and the Doctor tries to fix the bus, and he just happens to have a crystal in the TARDIS that will fix the bus. And we meet a Earth guy named Billy who's a mechanic, and he looks like a greaser. He rides like a motorcycle.
Yeah, I've just been referring to him as Grease Lightning. I don't have Billy.
All right.
I don't have Billy once in my script. I just call him Grease Lightning.
So Grease Lightning, Welsh edition, helps out, and Murray, the bus driver, is replacing the power crystal, and he somehow breaks it. And the Doctor's like, well, that's fine. I have a crystal growing set in the TARDIS, so I can grow you another crystal.
Sure you do.
So I have to pause here and point out the absurdity of what's just happened from like a screenwriting standpoint. So their crystal broke, and that's why the bus broke down. And so the doctor's like, I happen to have a replacement crystal. Great. Here it is. Oops, I broke it. Well, I happen to know a way to regrow one.
Yeah.
Why did we have to have I happen to have a replacement? Why couldn't you just skip to the part where he's like, I can grow one? What's the purpose of breaking the other crystal? Like, what purpose does that element serve?
I don't know. I guess maybe making sure that they are grounded for the 24 hours.
I guess.
I don't know. So Mel is trying to be a good roommate, and she's trying to talk to Delta, and while Grease Lightning is helping fix the car or the bus, we meet Ray.
I call him Kaniki.
Kaniki. See, I hate Grease, so I don't bother learning any of their names.
Yeah, I don't like Grease either.
Yeah, so he's just Grease Lightning.
So we meet Ray, and she also rides a motorcycle, but I guess it's technically a moped. And
it's like a European moped. She's got studs on her jacket, which I do not. Cool. I don't think that's 1959 accurate.
Yeah, I think that's anachronistic.
Yeah.
What accent is that? Welsh? Is she Welsh?
Yeah,
that's Welsh.
So I don't remember.
My God.
She's super cute. She's really cute.
She is.
And she totally has the hots for Grease Lightning, but he's kind of oblivious. And the doctor's like, "Oh, drama! I love it."
Drama.
Drama.
Oh, the drama. So Mel's trying to be a good roommate, and Delta's
like weirdly friendly. Because with this in Paradise Towers, have you ever noticed how like weirdly friendly the Seventh Doctor is with the teens? He's like really teens love him.
Yeah,
he's hip with the youth.
He's like, he's like a cool uncle.
Yeah, he's like the cool uncle.
Whereas like the Sixth Doctor is like your pretentious older brother.
Yeah, or like your weird stepdad.
Right.
And like the Eighth Doctor is like the English professor that like all the freshmen have a crush on.
Completely accurate.
Absolutely.
The Ninth Doctor is like scary, like rugby coach.
Is he?
No.
Everyone always says the Ninth Doctor is scary, and I don't ever understand that. I feel like the Ninth Doctor is like
he's such a big goof.
Yeah, he's like an Eagle Scout leader.
He's like he's the teacher that you think is scary until you like have a class with him.
Yeah.
And then you're like, no, he's actually really cool. And then the 10th Doctor is like your cool like poetry teacher or like drama teacher.
Who probably sleeps with the students.
Yeah, who probably sleeps with the students. And like you think he's really cool, but then it's like, oh, he's actually kind of funny. And the 11th Doctor is like a TA. And then the 12th Doctor is like your grandpa.
Your personal grandpa.
He's my grandfather. And scene.
Oh, man. So there is apparently at this camp, there's going to be like a get to know you dance. So Ray is super pumped, and the doctor's like, oh, that's cool. And Mel and Delta kind of like get ready, and Mel's trying to be friendly, trying to be Mel, and Delta's really, really paranoid. So she kind of turns around and like puts a gun in Mel's face, and she's just like, can I trust you? And Mel's like, yes. And Delta's like, oh, okay, cool. And so she puts the gun away, and they go to dinner. And
the drama in this story is always resolved within
like
2 lines of dialogue. Yeah. Every single time. Cliffhangers included.
So the Bannermen are back at the grungy spaceport, and he's kind of roughing up the guy with the purple sequin jacket. And he's like, I don't know where they went. They were supposed to be here, but they ran into something else, and they're on Earth, but I don't know where they went. I just know what year it is. And Gavrock's like, all right, fine. So he kills that guy, and he goes to Earth, and Mel at dinner is sitting with the doctor, and she's just like, hey, so the girl that I'm rooming with has a gun, and I'm really scared.
Yeah. There's been some confusion over rooming here at Chiz.
Yeah. And the doctor's like, all right, well, let's keep an eye on her. And Grease Lightning, like, sits down with Delta because he is just, like, super smitten, I guess.
Because she's the one that he wants.
Oh, God.
Oh.
So Ray's really sad. And the doctor, they all go to the dance, and Ray dances with the doctor because she's trying to make her, like, crush jealous, but he's just like, whatever, and he, like, sings a song, and Ray runs away, and she, like, goes to cry, and the doctor follows her after she's crying, and they go into this, like, blanket warehouse.
Blanket warehouse.
I don't know.
I think it's a laundry, like a linen room.
It's huge, though.
I like that better.
Well, yeah, they have to have all the linen for the entire motel.
Yeah, but I don't think, like, a hotel, like, linen closet is like a warehouse.
Oh, yeah, it's huge. I mean, it's like... The laundry room is, like, huge at a hotel.
Oh, okay. Well, shows you how much I know. So, blanket warehouse time. So, Ray is, like,
Looks
crying.
like someone owned a washing machine.
Yeah. Ray's crying, and the doctor's trying to comfort her. And this shady guy that was on the bus and kind of, like, looking at Delta the whole time shows up. And he has, like, this intergalactic walkie-talkie. And so the doctor and Ray hide, and this shady guy uses the walkie-talkie to contact the Bannermen and tells them that he knows where Delta is, and he's like a mercenary or like a bounty hunter, so he's gonna get paid like 1 million generic space monies for Delta. So he gives them like a radio signal, and the doctor he sneezes. I don't know if it's supposed to be on purpose or fake, but he sneezes, and so they're kind of like held, like the mercenary holds them at gunpoint, and then the other part of the cliffhanger is Delta, like, is in the room with Mel, and she's like, Mel, you're so nice and kind. I have something to tell you. And whatever was in her suitcase starts breaking open, and this green, like,
it looks
slimy,
like a mandrake root.
Yeah, this green, slimy alien baby emerges from this dragon egg, and Mel starts screaming. And the doctor is about to get shot. And that's how this episode ends.
The dialogue specifically in the about to get shot is he sees the doctor, and he's like, "Oh, you're that intergalactic doctor guy that everyone's always talking about." And he's like, "Yeah." He's like, "Oh, I bet I could get some money for you." And he's like, "You probably could, but since you're only interested in money, why don't you let the girl go and just kill me?" And he's like, "Well, that's because I also enjoy." He's like, "Kill." What does he say? "I don't just kill for money. It's also something that I enjoy," and that's the cliffhanger.
Yeah, and like I just picture like it's not just money. I also kill because I enjoy it, and then cut to black and just horrified British children.
Yeah, I know. I know. Like the cliffhanger is literally that he is a serial killer who has learned how to do it and make money in the process.
Like, well, do what you love, you know.
Do what you love. This guy is like a what is that called when you are you're like the perfect version of yourself?
Yeah, idealized.
Idealized. He is the perfect idealized version of himself.
Oh my god.
So we go into part 2, and Gavrock disintegrates the bounty hunter.
Yes.
I mean, just instantly, he's just like, haha, he thinks we're going to pay him. Disintegrate. And he just has a button that he pushes that disintegrates him. I assume it has something to do with like overloading the communication device or something. I don't know how else that works, but he pushes a button and the bounty hunter disintegrates. And so the Doctor and Ray can get away. And then Delta, meanwhile, is talking to Grease Lightning about the baby alien and sort of like explaining what it is. Because he shows up and he's like really chill. Like he shows up and she's like holding this baby mandrake root. This green baby mandrake. And he's just like, what's that? He's just like, she's so hot.
Yeah.
I don't want to screw this up.
Really, I don't ever want to mess this up.
Yeah, so he's just like, all right, I'll listen to you about your weird baby alien thing. And then you cut to the two American dudes and they're interviewing a beekeeper about seeing weird stuff. And he's like, and the beekeeper is like, I haven't seen anything that you would describe weird, but you can ask my bees if you want to. You're like,
you know everything.
And they're like, okay, well, we're gonna go. We'll talk to you later. He's like, no, let me show you this butterfly. And he holds out his hand. He's got a butterfly, and it flies away. And my favorite part about this moment is that the two Americans are looking at the palm of his hand when the butterfly's in it. The butterfly flies away, but they do not break eye contact with his hand. and so they're just staring at his empty palm.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
It really turns into Jupiter Ascending for a little bit.
It does.
Oh my god.
And then we cut back to the next morning. Delta is still holding the mandrake baby, only now it's not a baby mandrake. Now it's an actual baby that has been painted green and is wearing a green pajamas.
Which can't be legal.
Yeah. And this baby has no idea what's going on or why it's happening. So then Grease Lightning is like, hey, why don't we get out of here? And she's like, I can't walk very far with the baby. And he's like, who said we're walking? And he takes off a tarp on his motorcycle, and it's got a sidecar, which is like the coolest thing you could have on your motorcycle. And he's like, get in. And then they drive off into the sunset together. Then there's a random scene, and I'm only mentioning this because it's so random. There's just a random scene of a DJ sort of like strolling around his office, then walking up to the mic, hitting a gong, and then starting to sing into the mic. And it's going out throughout the whole motel. So the guy doesn't play music. He just sings directly live into the microphone as like the musical accompaniment of this motel that they're all staying at. Really weird. So then Grease Lightning and Delta are at a picnic.
Yes.
And he's like, wow, so that she can get out of the sidecar, he takes the baby and he's like, oh, the baby's heavy. And Delta's like, oh, that's because it's growing at like 10 times the rate of a normal human. And he's like, cool. All right.
Good.
Come on. He's like, he just nods and he just goes, come on. And they like walk off and I'm like,
seems legit.
He just said that baby grows 10 times the speed of a human being and you are not reacting any way. Like this guy wants to get laid more than anyone on the planet.
Yeah. Okay.
Cool.
All
right.
Cool.
All right. Well, let's go to this. I got a blanket.
So no boyfriend.
Let's go do this picnic thing. And as like the day continues, like they're still at the picnic. Only next time we go, now the baby is a girl, like a little girl,
like a toddler.
Yeah, like a toddler. And
Jack.
Yeah, and she's like starting to feed her. It looks like a syringe without the needle on it. And she's just sort of like eating out of this this thing. And it's really awkward because you can tell this kid is just like somebody's kid on the crew, and she's just like, just lick the stupid. This is God. This is terrible. Just suck on this. Oh man, there's no good way of putting this. Like it's just this girl, this little toddler with this thing in her mouth, just like staring off into the distance, and like sucking this little green goop out of this syringe thing, and it's obvious that this kid is not an actor. Is all I'm saying.
Yes.
This is just some random person's child.
It's actually Billy Piper.
So then, after a bunch of other stuff happens, the Doctor gets word that the Bannermen are on their way, and so he goes and he tells the pilot, and the pilot makes an announcement to everyone that the Bannermen are coming, and everyone panics. And they're like, we got to get out of here. So they're going to leave, but they can't leave without Delta. So the Doctor and Ray leave to go try and find Delta and figure out where they are. So they're like driving around on Ray's little moped, trying to find Delta and Grease Lightning.
Yes.
And meanwhile, they all, like the whole bus load of tourists, they all show up at the bus and they're climbing on the bus. And Murray has the crystal, and he's trying to grow it he has mind powers apparently, and he's staring really intently at the crystal, trying to make it grow, but it's not really working. And they don't know if it's going to finish in time for them to get out of there before the Bannermen arrive. And then there's this really adorable moment where the Doctor and Ray come up to a gate, and the Doctor hops off and unlocks and opens the gate. And then, then Ray drives through, and then he closes the gate and locks it behind him. And which I'm like, aren't you in a hurry? Like, It's adorable.
Have we mentioned how incredible the score is for this episode?
We haven't. It's like kind of like 50s rock music, right?
The needle drops are incredible. But also just like the weird techno electronic score is just so weird.
But it's like it's trying to be like a rockabilly score, isn't it?
It was like
yeah,
it's like beep blorp bleep blorp bleep blorp.
Yeah. Also, I watch these stories at 1.5 speed.
Why? So
that I can get through them faster, and that score is absolutely incredible at 1.5 speed.
Oh my god.
It is. I mean, it makes every moment like a Benny Hill moment. It's amazing.
And this is a very Benny Hill-like episode in general.
Yeah,
it is. It is. So, Gavrok and the Bannermen land, and they show up, and they walk up to the first two people that they find, which are the two American dudes. And they're like, where is the Delta Queen? Like, where is Delta? And they're like, what? And he's like, where is she? You know where she is. And like, we don't. And I'm like, does Gavrok not know how planets work?
Yeah.
How many people are on them, and how not everyone knows everyone.
Gavrok's not very smart.
No, he's not. And this begins because this is the first time that we're seeing him off of a ship. And from this point forward, any time that we see him, he is pointing his gun at whoever's talking to him. Yeah. Whether they're on his side or not. He is always pointing his gun at them. That's his move. That's how he intimidates people, because apparently he's not intimidating enough.
No.
So the crystal has grown, or at least it's funny because Mella's like, I don't know anything about crystalline structure, but that sure looks ripe to me. Thanks, Mel. Thanks.
Mel's the greatest.
Thanks, Mel. Thank you for your opinion of whether or not the crystal is done.
Well, I like it. You know what she is? Mel is the Marge Simpson of companions.
Oh, she's even got kind of the hair.
Yeah, like the big puffy hair.
Yeah, big puffy hair. So Murray's like, all right. And so he takes the crystal out and he puts it in the bus, and the bus starts working. He's like, yay. He's like, all right, we're going to go. And Mel is like, all right, I'm going to stay here because, I'm going to need to help the doctor get Delta on the TARDIS and everything. And he's like, okay, see ya. And then she starts walking away, and then the bus blows up, killing everyone inside the bus. I think making this the Doctor Who episode with the highest body count that we've seen so far.
You know what? We've had a lot of violent episodes this quarter.
But not a bus full of people.
That's true.
Right? I mean, how many people are probably on that bus? You're talking 2 on each side, 20 rows, like 40 people?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. So 40 people die.
R.I.P. Space Bus.
Yeah.
R.I.P.
And
When they die,
Gavrok...
do you think they turn back into their worm forms?
No, I think they blew up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's like a black crater.
When they go to heaven, do you think they go to heaven in their worm forms?
I would think so. I would assume. I think they went to heaven, however, that was their idealized form.
Yeah, that's true.
So maybe they finally went to Disneyland.
Yeah, the real Disneyland.
Oh.
Yeah. So that's really the most tragic part of this, is that they never got to go to Disneyland.
Wow.
Yeah, I know.
Going out from Space Bus.
It's dark. So Gavrok, like Mel, it has been blown back by the blast, and she's like, "Oh my god, what happened?" And then Gavrok shows up. He's like, "I blew up the bus. That's what happened." He's like, "Was Delta on the bus?" And she's like, yes."
Yeah.
He's like, "Are you lying?" She's like,
Yeah.
"No." And he's just like, "Okay, you seem trustworthy." And then immediately upon saying that, Delta comes around the corner in the sidecar and drives past. And he's like, "You were lying to me. Get her." And they all chase after Delta. It's like immediately Delta shows up.
Sneaky lady.
I know. And so the Doctor and Delta and then, yeah, because I forgot, I didn't put this in my notes. No. The Doctor and Ray, they meet up with Delta and Grease Lightning, and then they're like, "Hey, we got to go because the Bannermen are coming." And so then they all leave, and now they drive past and they just go straight past. They're just like, "Let's go back to the thing. Let's keep going, everybody. Let's keep going,
Moving along.
No stopping. And then they end up they stop in the middle of the road, and they're just like, "What are we gonna do now?" And Delta hears something with the antenna that are behind her ears.
Mm-hmm.
And these antenna, when I say antenna, they call them antennas, but they're like little blocks, little like clear, like Legos, like behind her ears. And she's like, "I hear some sort of high pitched frequency." And someone else is like, "Oh, I bet that's that beekeeper's bees." And so they just go to the beekeeper's place, and they're just like, they show up at the beekeeper's place, and he's like, "Oh, hello, I've been waiting for you." And they're like, "Okay, that's weird. Hey, can I borrow like a white cloth and a broomstick?" And he's like, "Sure." And then he's like, "Can I borrow your motorcycle, Grease Lightning?" And Grease Lightning is like, "Sure, but be careful with it." And the Doctor says, "I'll treat it as if it were the TARDIS." To which Grease Lightning is like, "Cool." He has no idea what the TARDIS is.
Great. That sounds like something really important to you.
It's amazing.
I will guard this like it's the bleep blorp.
Cool. And meanwhile, the rest of them all go in for tea, while the Doctor rolls up on Gavrok eating like a hunk of raw meat.
Yeah, it's like a pig or something. It's just a straight pig.
Yeah. It's just it's a piece of raw meat that's so big that he has to hold it with two hands.
Yeah.
And it's just a big, like round, like leg of pig or something. Is it like, is that what it is? Or is it like hindquarters? Like, I don't know. But it's like, it's just like a big, it's just like a big piece of meat.
The rump.
Yeah, I think it's a rump. And so he's just gnawing on this big piece of meat as the doctor rolls up with a white flag on a broomstick sticking out of the sidecar of this motorcycle. And as he's rolling up with the white flag, the universal sign for peace, he is immediately shot.
Yes.
And so he gets out of the motorcycle and he storms up to Gavrok, passing Mel and the dude who runs the motel because they've been captured by Gavrok. And he's like, hey, I had a white flag up. And he's like, so? He's like, white flag means peace. So? Well, when you have the white flag, you can't just shoot somebody with a white flag. And he's like, I'm Gavrok of the Bannermen. I'll do whatever I damn well please. And the doctor's like, yeah, well, so do I, and I'm leaving.
You know what?
And he walks away. He's like, come on, Mel and you other guy, and unties them, and they walk away. And as they walk away, all of the Bannermen raise their guns, and the doctor's like, I may not have thought this through.
Yeah,
and then that's the cliffhanger.
You really get, I don't know. I just really like that this is the straw that breaks the camel's back.
Right?
Hey, wait a second. That's not right.
Yeah.
I had
a white flag. I worked hard putting those two things together.
I've killed men for less than what you've just done. So yeah.
Yeah.
So they it's getting comfortable. The Doctor, Mel, and Burton they get away on Grease Lightning's motorbike. The Doctor like almost rebellious, almost like bitterly having the white flag flying from the motorbike.
Yeah. They get away. They get away because for some reason Gavrok lets them go.
Yeah, it's a really underwhelming resolution to a cliffhanger.
Well, it's my favorite part though is that he tells the other Bannermen not to fire by throwing up the universal symbol of raising his gun.
Yeah, for fire.
Yeah.
And somehow that means don't fire. Which in retrospect makes all of the times that he's pointed guns at people, it really paints them in a different light.
You know that episode of Rick and Morty where like they go into that world inside of Rick's car battery and like he's taught them all that the middle finger means like is a sign of peace? It's like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like they live in a weird, bizarro world.
Oh, it's so weird.
So yeah, so they escape. Meanwhile, the Bannermen are like guarding the two American spies, Team Rocket, and they use this weird like 50 Shades of Grey like like chain collar that connects them.
I call it a tandem collar.
It's
Yeah,
like a
tandem
yoke.
collar.
Like they're gonna hook up their oxen to a cart, but instead of oxen, it's these two old guys.
Yeah,
Like
and
They have to sit in tandem.
it's so
Yeah, and the guys-
uncomfortable.
and then
Imagine a tandem bike, but around your throat.
yeah, it's weird. It's like or like Cass said, it's like how you connect two oxen like as they like, pull apart.
Oh my
And
god.
it's like, boy, I sure wish I still knew how to kill people or whatever. Baba booyah. And then Ray arrives on her like magical bike and frees them with an Allen key. And then like they escape on her bike, and then but one of the guards like manages to land a dart as on Billy's bike as the Doctor drives past it. So meanwhile they go back to the B-Man. And the B-Man and Billy or Grace Lightning have are like in the car, and the B-Man says, "Oh," the Doctor's like, "Do you have any honey?" And he's like, "I have 10,000 jars of honey."
Yeah, he's just like, do I have honey?
Do I have
He's
honey?
like, he's waited his entire life for someone to ask him that question.
I've I've been breeding and masturbating these bees my whole life and containing thousands of jars of honey. And so Delta tells Grease Lightning that the child that I guess is now kind of his as well, is going to grow again. And she's like feeding the baby or the child at this point jelly to speed the growth up. So Ray arrives with the American spies, and then Grease Lightning steals some jelly when no one's looking. The Bannermen return and find that the two Americans are gone.
Well, no, he steals the stuff that she's been feeding the baby, right?
Oh yeah. There's honey and jelly. I got the honey mixed up with the jelly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so he steals the jelly, not the honey.
Right.
Yeah, so she's like, I'm feeding my baby this Chimeron jelly, Chimerian jelly to speed the growth up. And Grease Lightning's like, I think I'll take some of that.
Is it to speed it up? Because I thought it was to like give her enough nutrients for the change.
I think it's supposed to be both.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
It's like Nos.
Okay.
It's to level her up. It's to level her up, basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
So Gavroche traps the Doctor's TARDIS with a sonic cone. Then the Doctor drives to a field and attaches the tracker to a goat. He just finds a goat and goes, "Hello, goat," and the goat's like, "Hello, Doctor," and then he attaches the tractor to it, and then he drives back to the Bee-Man's house. So the Bannermen are like attempting to take off. Two Bannermen arrive at the Bee-Man's house. At this point, the child grows again and is now like a tween, basically, like a green tween, if you will. And
she could star in her own Nickelodeon show.
Yeah, where she like goes to a dance academy and has like a funny blonde best friend.
Right.
And then she like opens up her mouth and emits this like piercing, like Klaus Nomi like siren squeal.
I need to point out
sure
that it's like a mandrake.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Again,
it looked like a mandrake, and then it has a high pitched scream.
Yeah, maybe J.K.
Did
Rowling.
J.K. Rowling watch this episode and was like, save that?
Well, I mean, she stole Harry Potter from Worst Witch.
From what?
Have you ever seen the Worst Witch show?
No.
There's a show. There were books. And there was also an HBO Well, it was on the BBC or something, but they aired it on HBO Family. And I used to watch it. And it's like, she totally didn't rip it off, but it like they share a lot of similar like tropes with the early books. Like there's a mean potions teacher. There's like a whimsical, but they're all witches.
Oh.
There's like one mean one that's really rich.
But she did steal the third act of Sorcerer's Stone from Last Crusade.
Yeah. And she stole the twist in Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them from like 4 other Harry Potter stories.
Right.
No spoilers. But whatever you're thinking of right now, listeners, you're right. The Doctor... So this like messes up the Bannermen. Delta kills one of them, but one of them manages to get away. So the guards come back. They report to Gavroche, and they're like, "Hey, they got a weird like girl there. John Bannerman's dead." I'm like, "John Bannerman's." So they go to the house. Meanwhile,
John Bannerman.
Yeah, no relation to John Barrowman. So the Doctor notices the booby trap, but
actually, Delta and the Barrowman is a completely different story.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Just that Delta, I also want to see.
Just Delta and John Barrowman like teaming.
Yeah.
Hello.
I also want to see that.
When's he coming back?
Probably never.
Yeah. So he's like, I'm gonna ring the chief. You're lying. And so he reaches out, and his hand is burnt by the sonic cone. The Bannermen come, and they start shooting. They start blowing away the Bee-Man's house, and the Bee-Man's like, my bee! my base. Not my base.
There's that really weird moment earlier where he's showing off his bees to everyone, and I just like he's in full beekeeper outfit, and everyone's just in their clothes that they showed up in.
Those are his clothes,
and there's just bees everywhere, and I'm just like, this is my nightmare.
Do you not like bees?
Oh no, I have an irrational phobia of anything with a stinger.
Oh my god, it's like Wicker Man.
I have a feeling that if bees just couldn't sting people, we would be so more like subconsciously worried about how quickly they're dying off.
Yeah.
Like nothing scares me more than when a bee suddenly flies or is in my area.
Oh yeah, no. That yeah, no, I can't.
Because they fly so erratically. Like I totally look, Ellen Page. I totally get and understand why bees are important and we need to save them, and it's alarming that they're endangered. But why did God make them so scary?
I know, right?
Like, why?
I don't see. I've never understood people who don't. I don't get the spider phobia because like some spiders can bite you, but like most are just like super chill and just trying to mind their own business.
Like, they don't chase after you.
Yeah, bees are like, what are you doing, huh? Like they just feel like that like overly aggressive like older kid like in high school. Like, what are you looking at?
Yeah,
huh?
Oh my god, I hate it when I'm like eating outside and a bee just won't leave me alone. I'm like, why do you want to die? Like, this can only end with you dying. Either you sting me and you die, or I swat you and you die. But I just want you to leave me alone because you're so important. I hate that you're like, why can't dogs be the thing that like carry pollen around?
I don't know.
Can you imagine if Ellen Page was like, dogs are
I just had a picture in my mind of just like a big fluffy dog like covered in pollen, just like rolling around in a field.
And so
then just like looking at you like, are you proud?
Oh.
Be like, yay. We would never let dogs even become like kind of endangered.
I know. Anyway, bees are the worst. So continue.
Bees suck, but they're important.
Yeah.
So they start shooting up. Yeah, so the Bannermen raid the honey storage. The jars fall on them, covering them in honey, and the bees attack them. I'm absolutely 100% serious right now. I'm not talking about an episode of the Gummy Bears cartoon. This is a live action.
That was the perfect pull for that moment. It really does feel like an adventure in the 100-acre woods, not a Doctor Who story.
Super, super silly. So, and then an even stronger Winnie the Pooh-like twist. Delta catches Grease Lightning eating the jelly, and she's like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "Uh-oh." He's like, "I need to, because come with me. I'll become a Chimeron. I just want to hook up with you so bad." Delta's like, "Oh, God." So, all right. So, yeah, she's like, okay. So the Bannermen land outside. They start attacking. The Doctor and Grease Lightning install a speaker on the roof of the camp. And then the Doctor hands the Green Queen the microphone. And he goes, sing for your goddamn life. She's like, okay. So she emits her mandrake cry, and then the Bannermen are all like, oh, it's kind of like the ending of Mars Attacks, really. Now that I think about it.
Oh yeah.
Wow. And then Gavrok falls into the sonic cone, and he's atomized. Okay, so the Doctor's like, you there, New York guy in the New York Yankee windbreaker, restrain the Bannerman. And he's like, oh, lucky for me, tying knots is my favorite.
Yeah.
Up and around. Like, he takes so much pride in being able to tie knots. It's great. Like this is his hero moment in the episode.
It's so good. That was the moment where I was like, oh my God, he's Teddy.
Yeah. It's like, oh, I could tie knots for you real good. Yeah. So yeah, Grease Lightning has just fully become a Chimeron. He's like,
It's
well,
literally reverse the end of Grease.
Yeah. Oh my
like
God.
the greaser become
It's the reverse of Grease.
It would be like if like Sandy looks up and like from across the fair, it's I don't know what's happening to my voice right now.
It sounds like you're getting choked up at the idea of this.
Yeah.
Alternate ending to Grease.
Yeah, so like imagine like Sandy looks up and sees Danny Zuko wearing like a sweater vest and like
And a Letterman jacket.
And he goes, "Hey Sandy, well, I'm a nerd now." And then okay.
And then they sing.
Yeah, they sing "We'll Be Together" like "Wama Lama Ding Dong, Chambity Ching Chabop."
Yeah. Grease Lightning literally, he's like packing up and he's wearing the down comforter jumpsuit that Delta's wearing, and that his adopted daughters. He became this thing's stepdad.
Yeah, like really, like this dude did. When he like first saw Delta and he was like, she's kind of cute. He could never have known how
24 hours later, he would no longer be a human being and would be flying away on a spaceship.
And have a daughter and a wife. Like a 7 to 10-year-old.
24 hours.
I mean, you want to talk about an arc.
I know.
Oh my God.
So the doctor's like, why are you doing this? And he's like, well, you know, the Chimerons are endangered and like, if there's not a male, they won't survive. And the doctor has this really weird line where he's like, yeah, but sometimes species can crossbreed and they come out looking really ugly. And Billy's like, that's not why I'm doing this. Anyway. It was just, I don't know. When Sylvester McCoy said that, I was like, it's not a very doctor thing to say. So
Yeah, that was super weird.
Yeah. So the Chimeron.
It was like some weird commentary on like race relations or something.
Sometimes
the interracial relationships.
Yeah,
it's really
like,
weird.
If a Korean person and a Persian person breathe, it could be disastrous. Like it's just like really weird.
Yeah.
So the Chimerons leaving their ship with the Bannermen on board. And then so yeah, Gabrok's like absorbed too much energy from the sonic cone, and now he's out of power. Mm-hmm. So
Ray is really sad, but has been given the bike as a
like, hey,
consolation prize.
Here, kid, take good care of it.
Yeah, it's like that moment in the Star Trek reboot where Kirk gives that random guy his bike.
Oh yeah, I always want him to come back.
Yeah, I know.
Like he runs
because it's the guy. It's just the guy from the guild, isn't it?
Oh, is it?
Yeah, I think so. Right?
Which one? Zabu?
No, the old guy. The old guy who's like a cheapskate.
Oh, okay. Oh, the one that's like in charge at first.
Yeah.
Sorry, I've only seen the first season of the guild.
Oh, yeah. I'm pretty sure that's the guy that Kirk gives the keys to.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh.
That'd be cool if, like, at the end of the third movie, like, he ran over Idris Elba. I've been looking for you for 10 years. Thanks for the car. He's like, wow.
Wow.
Wow, Sprack, look. So he's like, Burton, thanks for helping me. The B-man's like, I'm giving you my favorite jar of honey.
Oh my God, I just realized. Okay, so you know how Grease is the worst movie ever because it has the dumbest ending where they get in the car and the car like flies away. Yeah, and you're like, wait, what?
Yeah.
This literally ends like Grease where the car flies away.
Yeah, like the only thing that's missing is like Mel turning around and waving goodbye to the audience.
Right. Yeah, because they get on the Danny and Sandy get in their car and it flies away.
There's a theory that that ending is because they actually die in a car accident.
What?
Yeah. Yeah, that they're flying to heaven. Yeah, I've heard that.
Danny wouldn't go to heaven. So, so the B-Man gives him some special honey from 1928. And the doctor's like, I am for sure never going to even open this. I don't know what you do to these or where they come from, really. But thank you for the sentiment.
It's also red.
It's also, it's like, what kind of honey is
The honey from 1928 has turned into ketchup, apparently.
The doctor's like, ew, okay. So Burton welcomes a new bus full of guests that hopefully won't all die. The doctor gives the American spies their satellite, and they're like, we did it! And they jump in the air and high five.
Well, he doesn't give it to them. He's just like, hey, look up there. And they're like, oh, the satellite!
We did it! And they're like, so yeah, it's just, everyone's happy. No one dies. It's so stupid.
Like except for a literal bus full of people.
But no one I like. None of the fun characters die.
The pilot died.
That's true. The pilot did die.
And the purple sequin man.
When did the purple sequin man die?
Like in the first episode.
Gavrok shot him in the back.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, never mind. I'm glad the spies don't die. And I'm glad Ray doesn't die, and I want to write a fanfic where the Doctor meets Ray again.
This story is magical.
It's so much. Look, I was thinking about this today as I was watching this. I think the beauty of Doctor Who is that it doesn't have to be anything. Like, there's nothing that Doctor Who should be, you know? It's not like Star Trek where it's like, this feels wrong, you know? Like, I think the beauty of the show is that it can be so many things. Like, it can be important, it can be smart, it can be silly.
Mm-hmm.
But so I won't say what Doctor Who should be, but my favorite thing that Doctor Who can be is really goofy and silly and fun and sweet.
Yeah.
I think that's my favorite kind of Doctor Who.
Yeah. So good. I love this story. I know there's like 3 stories that typically people point at and say those are the best of the 7th Doctor, but this is my favorite. I love this. I love this so much. Like those other 3 stories are really good though.
Yeah.
The only thing that could have made this better is if at the end when the next bus shows up and like the guy opens and like Burton opens the door, if like Pax came out.
Mm-hmm. Really, is Dragonfire the last? Because Dragonfire is really fun, but like it's one that a lot of people are like roll their eyes at. But is that the last one of the 7th Doctor era that people have a distaste for generally? Is Happiness Patrol? I can't remember Happiness.
Is it called Happiness Patrol?
Yeah.
Happiness Patrol. I think. Oh, there's also like Greatest Show in the Galaxy too, the one with the weird stuff.
Oh, right, but that's incredible. Nick is going to have a stroke.
I can't wait.
Oh my god.
Happiness Patrol is really silly.
Okay.
But a lot of people. I mean, I like Happiness Patrol.
Okay, cool. Because there's what is that one episode? Is Battlefront?
Oh my god, that's my favorite McCoy story.
It's so good.
I think
it's probably my second favorite. Battlefield,
yeah.
Right? I think it's that's my second favorite is Battlefield.
This is my second
so
favorite
good.
one, so we switched.
So there you go. But yeah, I mean, really, the rest of the McCoy, like, there is so much to love. Because if nothing else, Ace is amazing.
I can't wait to meet Ace.
Yeah, next episode. You're gonna love her. You're gonna have like instant hearts in your eyes.
Oh, good. Because Ray is honestly up there with like Craig and Pax as like my favorite one-off characters.
Yeah.
Although I know Craig isn't a one-off, but he's like a two-off.
The 7th Doctor era is really good about having great characters that you meet and then never see again.
Mm-hmm. I think just the way McCoy plays the Doctor is he just really, and maybe this is a combination of him and the writing, but he brings out the best in people.
Mm-hmm.
Which is something that I love about the Doctor, is that he has the ability to like very kind of effortlessly inspire and like unite different kinds of people.
Yeah.
Like especially like 10, you know, like 10 was always really good at like making people like 10 could totally be like a lifestyle coach.
Right.
Like you could
well, he often was. He would tell people to always bring a banana to a party.
Yeah, always bring a banana to a party.
That's lifestyle coaching, right?
Yeah. Those were actually his dying words before he regenerated.
I don't want to go to a party without a banana.
2010 Nick is like weeping. Why did we do that?
Oh my god.
I think I've ever cried in a TV show more than when he regenerated.
Yeah, it was rough.
Oh, so sad.
I will say, I'm just now picturing, I just love the idea of the Doctor forcing himself to regenerate because he doesn't want to go to a party without a banana.
Right, well, what party? Oh, here's a banana. There's nothing in here. Huh.
I just like the absurdity of it because it's like, what the hell does that do? It doesn't accomplish anything.
Oh my god.
He'd rather no longer exist.
Yeah. He would rather turn into a different kind of man who doesn't care about bananas.
Well, maybe the next one won't be such a stupid idiot.
Whoop, got that wrong.
Then he became 11.
Yeah. Whoops. Yeah. So anyway.
So what's next?
Next is Eighth Doctor.
Ooh, another audio adventure.
Yeah, another audio adventure. This is The Sword of Orion.
Oh, does this one also have that that weird like aviatrix that I really liked?
Aviatrix.
What was her name?
Yeah.
Charlie.
Yep. Sword of Orion with the continuing adventures of with the Eighth Doctor and Charlie.